Добрый день, друзья!
Hello, dear friends. A balanced diet is one that is organized according to certain criteria, which have been used as the basis for the base healthy diet menu for a week. Let's take a closer look at how these criteria are put into practice. Number 1. The caloric content of food is calculated on the basis of individual characteristics of a particular person, in this case on the basis of my parameters. Since the evolution of the human organism took place in conditions of constant calorie deficit, it is necessary to organize our diet with a reasonable calorie deficit. Number 2. The diet should provide the organism with proteins, different types of fats, carbohydrates, and microelements full of essential amino acids. To this end, the basic menu provides for the consumption of red meat and cottage cheese once a week, byproducts, eggs, and poultry twice a week, fish or seafood 3 times a week, nuts or seeds twice a week. Cereals, pseudograins, and legumes are eaten daily 8 times a week. Up to 30 different vegetables will be eaten daily with all meals. Fruit and berries once a day. In addition to fats from foods, clarified butter and various types of vegetable oils are used in cooking. Number 3. In case of individual need, the number of intakes of some of the above products may be increased by reducing others. Number 4. In addition to the regular menu, it is also possible to organize vegetarian meals on the basis of the base menu as it is implemented on Wednesday. And now let's get down to practice. The main dish for Sunday breakfast is chicken soup. We heat a mixture of ground spices in a dry pan until they give off a rich aroma. Then we add clarified butter, the second basic mixture of cooked non-starchy vegetables, and herbal tea. Next, place the boiled and shredded chicken meat in a frying pan along with the concentrated broth. The meat has been cleaned from harmful substances in the following way. It was kept in the fridge for 2 days in a water solution of rice or dough starter. It was then lightly boiled and the first broth was removed. A small amount of the second, more concentrated broth was then prepared on top. The meat that had been removed from the bones was frozen, together with the broth, in portions for 2 adults. One of these portions was defrosted in the fridge in the evening and is now being used by us. Prepare an enzyme supplement for the soup. As heat-treated food lacks digestive enzymes, it will consist of fermented vegetables, a mixture of dried herbs, garlic, lemon, other spices, and seasonings to your liking, such as horseradish or mustard. Add our medicinal herbal tea, some of the soup from the pan, and blend it all together in a blender. Pour the soup into a bowl, add the enzyme supplement, then the raw vegetables from the first base mixture, which will also increase the enzyme content of the dish. On top of the raw vegetables, place the chilled starchy vegetables from the third base mix. Their resistant starch, together with the fiber of the cooked vegetables, will serve as excellent food for the symbiotic microflora of the intestine. As for the insoluble fiber found in raw vegetables, it performs many useful functions in our intestines. These include absorbing harmful substances, forming fecal masses, stimulating the intestinal glands to secrete mucus and other fluids that help move the content of the intestines towards the exit of the body. For lunch today, we are going to prepare sea mussels that have been defrosted in the fridge. In a dry frying pan, fry a mixture of turmeric and coriander, add refined olive oil, lightly fry chopped garlic, add the mussels and drizzle with a little dry white wine. You can also use water or herbal tea acidified with lemon or apple vinegar. After half a minute to a minute of cooking, add a little liquid and mixture of dry aromatic herbs, bay leaf, other spices or seasonings to your taste, example lemon. After a minute, remove the mussels and add the second base mix of vegetables and a little more liquid. For the sauce, take the fermented vegetables, some cooked mussels, and vegetables from the pan, aromatic herb mixture, lemon, unrefined olive oil, herbal tea, and blend everything. Pour the sauce on a plate, add the hot vegetables from the pan, the mussels, the first mixture of raw vegetables, sour sea herbs, lemon, and herbs, and now the dish is ready for consumption. The main course for dinner is porridge of lentils and rice with vegetables. The lentils and rice were purified by soaking for 6 hours and then fermenting for 3 days in an aqueous solution of rice or dough starter. They were dried and stored for some time. The night before, they were lightly toasted on a dry pan and soaked again. When soaking the lentils, add half a teaspoon of baking powder. Otherwise, the sour lentils will not soften when cooked. If baking powder is not added, the cooked lentils should be blended and then mixed with cooked rice. Both cereals should be cooked in a pressure cooker with plenty of water, drained after cooking, to inactivate and remove any remaining harmful substances. After cooking, mix the lentils, rice, and clarified butter, then cool and store in a fridge. The starches in the cereals become resistant to digestion in the upper part of the gastrointestinal tract, which reduces their glycemic index, and the microflora of the large intestine receives quality nutrients at their expense. Just before dinner, fry the spices as usual in a dry pan, add the clarified butter, the cooked vegetables from the second base mix, and the liquid. To make the sauce, take the fermented vegetables, a little of the mixture from the pan, a spoonful of porridge, lemon, aromatic herbs, herbal tea, clarified butter, and mix everything with a blender. Pour the sauce into a plate, add the hot vegetables from the pan, the cooled porridge, the raw vegetables of first mixture, and the greens. The main course is ready. Here are all the dishes on the Sunday menu. You can add seeds, avocado slices, and herring slices to the raw vegetable salads from the first basic mix. You can also make a small fruit and berry snack before lunch or dinner. Our study of the base healthy diet menu for the week concludes with this 8th video. From now on, we will only talk about this menu in an applied way, for example, how to adapt it to individual circumstances or how to use it as a guide when fighting illnesses. Incidentally, it cannot be adapted at all if a person has no significant gastrointestinal disorders and no particular taste preferences. Anyone who is interested in health can now use a fairly universal and specific guide to organizing their diet in any situation. It's called the Base Healthy Diet Menu. Thank you for your attention.